Holy cow, it is Wednesday. You are not wrong. Who up keeping they dome? We're in danger of like there. You know what? Maybe there's a better way to frame this. There's only two kinds of videos right now. Wake up, bunny, new blank just dropped, or anybody else up, verbin they noun, or just me. Those are the, and today is anybody else up just keeping they dome. Anybody else up keeping they dome, or just me? Same. Baby's having a rough morning. She's home from daycare. She woke up. She went to bed at around 9:30, and then she woke up at 10:30, and she was just scared. And then she woke up again around 5:30, and I stayed with her from 5:30 until 7:30. You can see, honestly, here's a, we need to cure the common cold. It's getting a little crazy. Like, how long has the common cold been around? It's been around, like, I don't know. I mean, like, on an evolutionary sense, probably hundreds of thousands of years, maybe. But, like, a long time ago, people lived in, you know, tribes where they probably didn't interact with extant populations too much, so whenever anyone would get sick, it would run through the tribe, but then you wouldn't spread it too much. But now, you know, we're all coming together, and Vanessa works at an office. Her boss just got off a flight from Portugal, where he spent the last month traveling around Europe. He brought the Canadian germs to Europe, and then he brought the European germs to Canada, and we're all now my baby's sick with some kind of, she's got like a Danish rhinovirus or something like that, and then some toddler in Copenhagen has like the Vancouver pox. I don't know. It's too much, man. It's out of control. Did you or one of the mods time me out for 10 minutes for saying Sporkle is ass? Yes, I did. That was me. That was not a mod. If you are coming here and you're saying you're trying to rat out the mods, I'm telling you that decision came from on high. But I do need to say it was a soft timeout because it was the end of the stream. It's like you basically got time served. It happened with like less than a minute left in the stream. So it was mostly just like, hey, you shouldn't have done that, but the punishment is more symbolic than anything else. I'll also be honest, like I would have let it go from most people, but I see you in Dan's chat all the time, and you're an angel there. It's like if someone got a key to the city and then you saw him like litter in a park. You would be like, what the heck? That guy's supposed to be like a civic hero, and here he is like just dropping aluminum cans right next to the garbage can. Like, what's going on? I do have a good database of chatters. Parts of my brain are definitely, I wouldn't say withering yet. For anybody that's, you know, not in their 30s yet, the speed of your decline from a mental and physical health standpoint is really overstated. I think it's because, you know, you're like a kid and you're growing and you know, scrape your knee and then you wake up like 6 hours later and your skin is like perfectly healed. And then you become like a young adult and you're a superhero, and everything you do, like you could have like a horrible diet, but if you do like 10 push-ups, you wake up the next day and you're like, wow, look at these changes in my body. You can't go from like nothing to a six-pack in a week, but you definitely, after like 2 weeks of working out, you're like, holy cow, look at this. That's crazy. That changes. But you don't really start, like even in my 30s, like I still feel totally great most of the time. I will say, I don't know if it's a wisdom thing or if it actually is slowing down like the clock cycles, the clock speed of the brain. In my late teens, early 20s, sometimes people would get, you know, occasionally in vivo you run into arithmetic. What's 15% of $77? As a 23-year-old, I'll be like, I'm going to do that, you know. That's 5 times 10, or sorry, 5 times 7 plus 5 times 70 plus 10, you know, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea, and then divide it by 100. As a guy in my early 30s, I'm like, we'll just wing it. I don't know, we'll say it's fucking, I don't know, Let's say it's around 980. We'll put 980 on the bill, and then that's good enough. But some people might be like, oh, that's your brain slowing down. I think it's that the manager of my brain, like the prefrontal cortex, is actually better. And instead of being like, let's do it, yeah, stimulation, instead, the manager at the front of my brain is like, don't worry about that so much. Save your energy. You're going to need that energy to do some other important stuff today. So we're going to choose not to expend an extra like 25% of your caloric rate to do it. We're just going to eyeball it, and that's going to be good enough. Like, here's the thing. I've gotten maybe a little bit dumber, but like a lot better at doing the dishes without suffering existential dread. You know, say, oh man, someone should invent like a machine that you could put dishes in, and it just washes them for you, and then also it dries them for you, and then it puts them back in your cabinets. Oh, someone should invent a machine that solves all my problems for me. Now I'm just like, bro, just pop in the headphones. Put a good podcast, pop in the headphones, do the dishes, and then you're freaking done instead of wasting your time. So I'd say the older you get, the wiser you get. But the dumber you get. I know, it's confusing. Sweet vindication, by the way. Did you guys see the top post on r/northernlion today that said, NL, please stop listening to chat? I'm #1 NA plus EU Dome Keeper player of all time. And here's my thoughts on your gameplay. Essentially, they said, Teleporter is goated. You're right. Lift is not that good. Drillbert is pure ass. Blast mining is awesome. And you were right to respect the converter and the condenser. So they basically said, you're the smartest person in the world, which I appreciate. I will also say, though, there was a patch. Listen, they added a patch here. Let me see. I'm not reading all that. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought about it. I read patch notes for like an hour for Rumbleverse 2 weeks ago, uninstalled the game. I don't know, like less than 18 hours ago. It's not worth it. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. I'm just gonna trust it. Yeah, wait, does auto heal work? Is that something that fixed condenser? Fixed one instance of cheat detection triggering erroneously. Lift now starts with an additional orb. Okay, so they did buff the lift a little bit. I told you it was bad, you liars and haters. They gave it a 50% damage, or not damage bonus, a 50% bonus. I will say, I was losing my mind. I don't know if the person... So yesterday, Jay was rating his chatters' battle stations, you know, their work setups. And I was losing it. Somebody sent him a picture that was like, this is my work setup, okay? They had a desk in front of them. The desk had 3 monitors. One of them was a Discord call. One of them was New World, and one of them was like a stream. And then they, like 6 feet away from their desk, they had a wall-mounted TV that was playing sports. And I was like, you're at work? Like, he was not work from home. He was in an office, a spacious office. It had 2 coat racks. I was losing my mind. I was like, this is what's... And I will say, I don't know, I think they might have worked at a university. I guess that's what the public sector is like. But I was jealous, don't get me wrong. I was like, man, it's like his office looked better than my office, and I stream. And his office was like more for streaming. Oh, it's like that time Ninja tweeted like, never forget where you came from. And he posted a photo of like his first Twitch streaming setup, and I was like, this shit looks better than mine now. Don't get me wrong, I could make mine look better, but like, I don't have the RGB lighting setup. I'm just like a guy. I just have a computer and like a microphone. Dude, I was shocked. I was talking with my mom. We were talking about the Lord of the Rings series, the Rings of Power, and I was saying like, yeah, I didn't really like it that much. I wanted to like it, but you know, it just didn't tickle my fancy. And she was like, yeah, I think I saw the first one with you back when you were in like elementary school, but I could just never get into it. I never understood what all the hype was about. And I was like, Mom, you gotta relax, okay? Because we're talking about 2 different things. You're talking about the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings film trilogy, which is one of the most beloved trilogies in cinematic history. And if you start saying that stuff to people like who are not me, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble because those films are very well liked. I'm talking about the Amazon series. It's two different. I'm just trying to keep you from getting in trouble, Mom. I mean, it's okay. She can not like Lord of the Rings. Also, she's not 100% correct, by the way, because she didn't just see the first one with me when I was in middle school. She took me to the theater to see all 3 of them. I saw every single one of the Lord of the Rings films with her. Apparently, it meant more to me than it did to her. But don't make me 3-tap it to Graceland. That's too much. Anyone else ever see the Elvis movie, 3,000 Miles to Graceland? Kurt Russell, Kevin Costner, Courteney Cox. How to know your movie's not going to be very good? The female lead is Courteney Cox. Sorry. So someone had to say it. Has Courteney Cox ever been in a good Hollywood feature film? Yes or no? Yes or no? Scream? Okay. Yes. I was wrong. My mistake. I forgot about Scream. If teleportation was real, would you use it? It depends on what you mean by real. Is it real in the sense that, like, the technology exists? Or is it real in the sense that, like, it's completely safe? Because, like, space travel is real. Kind of. But I still have no interest in going up in the Jeff Bezos rocket. Because, like, if there was a... Well, here's the thing. It's like, if there was a risk to it, then I don't really want to do it. But if there was no risk to it, why wouldn't I do it? Which kind of negates the spirit of the question to begin with. So I apologize to you. I don't think I can give you an answer that satisfies the conditions of the question. You drive a car? Yeah, but that's been around for so long that even though the risk is quite high, it seems mundane. I guess you know what it is? It's more about the perception of risk. As long as there's a low perception of risk, I'm not that worried about it. No, well, I shouldn't say no people. Nobody's afraid. Hey, do you ever realize that? Here's a Dimitri Martin joke for you in the making. You ever realize nobody's afraid to drive, but a lot of people are? You ever notice you're only afraid to be? You ever notice the popularity of theme restaurants these days? You ever notice nobody's afraid of driving, but a lot of people are afraid of being a passenger? We can find. There's something there. There's something there. Okay, we gotta get you. Sit back in the seat, Shinji. Get in the frickin' robot, Shinji. Shinji, you're the smartest mother fricker I've ever known. You're too stupid to see. You already got in the robot 10 minutes ago. And look at this. I bet that's triangles and water. Oh, baby! Shinji, get in my belly! So true. Did they add, like, a fat bastard type character to Neon Genesis Evangelion? That would go hard. Every show needs, like, a fat bastard character. No? I'm being told no. I'm being told this is one of the stupidest takes I've ever had. Hey, everybody. We're going on a little trip, okay? Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. You know this song? Anybody else out there got a 2-year-old? Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Various different lyrics there, by the way. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. This is another. We are going for a trip on our favorite rocket ship. Lots of potential there. Wall Street Bets joke -2. Imagine thinking that a children's song reference from A Man with a Child is a reference to Wall Street Bets. Especially when I can't shut up about market cap weighted, globally and industry diversified index funds with the lowest possible MERs. Like, it's just couldn't be me. You need to send shit back. Look at the teleporter, Walter. Look at the teleporter. is sucking shit back every 10 seconds. I think he meant back home. Obviously he meant back home. What do you mean? Back where? Back to the Man I Used to Be by Chaos, a song you could not escape on Much Music in the mid-2000s? Oh, back home to the... I see. So when you said teleporter, what you meant was rocket ship, actually. When you said upgrade your teleporter, the teleporter for you is this aluminum rocket ship with a bunch of fire coming out of the back of it. I suppose it does teleport you as long as you ignore the part of the teleportation that is instantaneous transit. In that case, I teleport myself to pick my daughter up from daycare every day. All I do is get in my teleporter, turn the ignition, and then I steer my teleporter using a little wheel attached to the gauge cluster. And then when I get where I want to go, I press a pedal that ceases my teleporter's forward momentum. He talks like my rude high school teachers. To be young again. To be... Maybe... maybe your rude high school teachers talk like this because they deal with teenagers all day. Maybe you don't understand that in the real world, adults treat each other with respect, or sarcasm is responded to in kind with more sarcasm. In high school, it's rare to encounter such snarkiness. Because you may not realize this, but as a high school student, you hold a lot of power. Well, your parents do. But you hold a lot of power with your parents. It's like a strange dynamic. In the real world, though, when people speak disrespectfully, they better be the boss, or they're gonna run into some trouble. Maybe not even some trouble, just some back and forth banter. You know how many teachers have wanted to tell a student to F off? Dude, when I taught in Korea, I wanted to tell, like, 8-year-old kids to F off. Not my own child, she's an angel. But, like, you know, sometimes you're like, imagine, you know, everybody has hard days. Imagine you're teaching, you're having a hard day, and then some, like, 8-year-old kid is making your life hard. You're just trying to teach him how to say, like, you know, hi, how are you? And he just keeps, like, going, and, like, throwing stuff at other kids. You're like, this is such a preventable cause of stress. Could you just relax, please? Like, you can have a hard day for, like, much more valid reasons than just one kid going insane. I'm looking at a future world record holder. Did we have more up here? We did have more up here. Not much more. Yeah, it's just like that quote from The Matrix, where Neo is like, he's talking to the Oracle, and he's like, but are you telling me when I'm ready I'll be able to bend spoons? And then the kid is like, no, I'm telling you when you're ready, you'll be able to bend McDonald's Sprite. And then Neo's like, whoa. What? That's a new meme I'm doing, which is false quotes from popular media. And then just instead of the normal way that the joke ends, just ending it with McDonald's Sprite. It's not very clever, but I'm hoping it's one of those things that's so dumb, the more you hear it, the more you're like, I hate that I'm laughing at this. The teleporter sucked all that shit up already. You see that? It slurped it up like it was a big old McDonald's Sprite. We got 7 triangles. We absolutely have to up our multiplier. Levy raid, yo, Levy! Hey! And we all thought the Queen's Gambit was a once-in-a-lifetime boom for chess. We didn't realize nobody saw 2022 coming. A renewed interest in the world's oldest game for reasons nobody ever could have seen coming. Not even the metal detectors. I don't know. Look, I haven't been following it like fully. I'm just sort of tangentially aware of what's happening. I hope you're doing well. Who would have thought? Yes, I was trying to think of a way to work a McDonald's Sprite joke into it, but couldn't quite finesse it. Good afternoon, Ryab. Hello, Josh. Josh, ever since I uninstalled Rumbleverse, my life has, like, it's never been better. Are you seeing this Dome Keeper run we're on? The bet was, will we score over 500, which was Bear Taffy's high score. We're presently sitting at 900. Chat is begging me, end the run, go home. I've never been more confident that we're going to the moon. You guys are witnessing, this is not a joke, you're witnessing the best Dome Keeper run I've ever had in my entire life. We're gonna be, I don't even know, perhaps, they're gonna waive the eligibility requirement for the Hall of Fame. Let's just put it that way. They're probably gonna put me in as a first ballot. Some people might be like, oh, but they haven't put in Babe Ruth yet. We can't put in this guy if we haven't put in Babe Ruth yet. Well, you know what? You're about to learn whether or not your so-called hero, so-called Babe Ruth, is as good as you thought he was. Hold on. I get a little spooky there for a second. We're going. We're going. We're going. One's dead. Second one's not dead yet. Didn't even take that much. Honestly didn't even break a sweat. And you know what Babe Ruth's favorite beverage was? This one may surprise you. McDonald's Sprite. That's right. A lot of people that have been here for a bit already knew where that one was going. The answer is McDonald's Sprite. Babe Ruth said, it just hits different. Don't they put MSG in it? You know what? Sounds insane. Thus, I'm going to believe that it's true. Do they put MSG in McDonald's Sprite? Sounds impossible. As a result, I'm choosing to say the answer is yes. Yeah, Dome Keeper. It's a nice, relaxing, kind of like a lunch break strategy roguelite. You can play it in like short bursts, or you could have a 3.5 hour long run. First thing in the morning. To watch sports on one channel, naked female mud wrestling on another. There's no end to the possibilities. It's time. We have to go. I'm not even gonna risk it on the wave. I don't think we're living. The only game plan you could do here, you could do bet that you're gonna get triangles next time. Use 2 triangles to heal, and then try to keep accelerating it. I'm choosing to say that enough is enough. Okay. Take me to upgrades. Send back. Well, it doesn't even matter because it's not going to give us points immediately. I think you just send it back immediately. Beautiful. Oh, look at this count. 4,364. It's your new personal best. You've improved your rank to 1,086. All right, I got a great idea. While I was in the bathroom, I got a great idea for Back to the Future 4. Okay? And I haven't really figured out all of the plot details, but at the climax of the film, Marty McFly has gone back to like 1675, and he's like nervous because he gets pushed up on stage at like the Vienna Orchestra or something like that, and then you know what he does? He plays a piano, and all of these buttoned up, powdered wigs, the Viennese royalty and the elites and the intelligista, they go, what? All we've ever heard is the harpsichord. And then he's got an instrument with keys that allows him to adjust the volume that he's playing at. It doesn't play at a uniform volume regardless of what force you apply to the key. And then he plays some like Rachmaninoff shit. He's going and nobody cares. Everyone says this shit sucks. And then he says, well, I guess you don't get it, but your great-great-grandchildren are gonna love it almost as much as they love McDonald's Sprite. That's the climax? Well, no, then they gotta get like a covered wagon to go 88 miles an hour or something, but there's no gasoline. So they gotta figure out a way to get a covered wagon up to 88 miles an hour using like whale oil and kerosene. Okay, I got a great idea. Back to the Future 5, because you know this shit is getting more sequels after that Pog moment in Back to the Future 4. Doc says, Marty, we've got to go back to the past, okay? So he goes, they set it for like, boop, 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 1943, okay? Maybe they'd probably dodge that a little. You know, let's say 1924. Boop, 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 boop. But then they get there and they're like, what the hell? It's a fucking desert? It's a desert? And then they get kidnapped by a bunch of like super intelligent apes. And they're like in prison. And then Marty's like, Doc, what the fuck happened, man? We've been imprisoned by apes. And then Doc goes, great Scott, Marty, I just realized I didn't set it for 1924. I set it for 2194. We're on the planet of the apes, Marty. They blew it up. They blew it up. What do you think? It could be like a crossover, like an Infinity War type thing. Kramer's like, this planet is bone dry. Did you actually uninstall Rumbleverse? Yes. One thing you need to know about me, sometimes it takes a while for good sense to prevail, but once it prevails, I mean, I'm just built different, and sometimes that's bad, and sometimes it's good. When I quit Dota, people were like, yeah, you'll be back. That's what they all say. Well, it's been fucking 8 years, asshole. Once I'm done, I'm done. It's possible we're coming back Season 2 Rumbleverse if they do an ELO reset, but I'm ready. We'll see how my life feels. If my life feels good whenever Season 2 comes out, then maybe I'll just, cooler heads will prevail. Why did you quit Dota? I've told the story a few times before, so I apologize if you've heard it. I was playing probably like, I don't know, 2+ hours a night of Dota, which is like 4 games, maybe 3 games. And then one day, I was like, how much of that time is actually fun? And it was like, maybe like 35% of it at a maximum. There's like a lot of days where it was like basically 0. Dota's not really fun if you're losing, is my experience. Because you see the loss coming a long time in advance of when the loss actually hits. So you spend about a third of every lost game just knowing you're going to lose and waiting for it to actually happen. Not fun. So I said, you know, I'm in my mid-20s at this point. I could probably be doing better stuff with my time. And I basically just quit that night and said, that's it. You know, I'm going to do better stuff with my time. So when I took that 2 to 3 hours times 7, I became a casual middle distance runner. Started running 10K, it started with like 5K, started with 2K, then got to 5K, then got to 10K. Was running, I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 miles a week. Was in a great groove. Twisted my knee, tore my meniscus running on the beach. Had to find something else to do with my time. Started making 8 YouTube videos a day, and here I stand before you. That's the progression. So basically what I'm saying is I quit Dota and that actually like made me get my life together, which is like a great real world example of doing a smart and good thing, I think. But I'm sure you probably got it figured out too. You're just like, no, I'm just going to keep playing and I'll just figure out how to have fun with it later. Anyway. I'm hoping that quitting Rumbleverse doesn't ruin my life. By the way, while I was in the bathroom, I also thought of like a new guy. And that would be Guy, it's a woodwind player. He plays the bassoon. And he's seeing a piano for the first time. Oh, so it's like a harpsichord. Like, I don't really see why we need this when we already have a harpsichord. Okay, so it's like, all right, so it's a harpsichord, but you can modify the volume. I just don't see it catching on. And I'm so sick of, when I learned how to play the bassoon, there's dignity in it, there's honor in it. You use your fingers to choose the note, but you also have to use your breath. You have to use your embouchure. You have to use your diaphragm. I don't like these new modern instruments that take all the skill out of music. Like you just go like this, ting, ting, di-di-di-di-di-di-di. I don't even have to learn how to do any breath control. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, I forgot about the pedals. Okay, I forgot about the pedals. That's a guy who plays the bassoon being introduced to the world's first piano. That's getting a lot of +2s. I'm a little surprised, honestly. How does the McDonald's Sprite fit in? Well, when I film the sketch, he'll be drinking a McDonald's Sprite the whole time. Like, he'll have a McDonald's Sprite in his hand, like Khaleesi had the, Hit the seal, hit the seal, hit the seal! Oh! Like Khaleesi had the Starbucks. Anyway, 5 wins. So it's actually not that bad, considering how much we cratered in the mid-game. Yeah, then he takes a sip and he says, sorry about all that piano slander. I was just mad because I asked for Sprite and they gave me Sierra Mist. And then he goes, everything's not gonna be alright. We'll be about a pouting computer. Hey computer, could you load up Microsoft Excel? No. I don't want to. My beard hurts! Sorry, this is a very old reference. My HelloFresh order arrived today. It was veggie bean chili. I was so excited to try it for the first time. I started cooking, frying the peppers, boiling the rice. It was then I realized they messed something up. They gave me no chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, or kidney beans. I was left with just peppers and white rice. There was rice in the chili? It's not so unusual, I guess, but it seems pretty rare. Was there any McDonald's Sprite in there? I know some people in chat, you just got to ignore them. They're saying just go to the grocery store. I mean, you get the HelloFresh so you don't have to go to the grocery store. It's like saying you went to get your oil changed and they forgot to change your oil. And they're like, oh, just go to the oil change shop. You're like, I did, dummy. That's the whole reason we're here. They didn't provide the service to me that they were supposed to provide. I can understand if that story is true, which is always questionable online. I feel for you. NL, a Manchu Wok just opened in my school. What are your thoughts? My dad's favorite food court restaurant in Canada, for sure. That's my review of Manchu Wok. Does that exist in the United States of America, by the way, or is that a Canada-only thing? Doesn't exist in America. It's mall court Chinese food. You know, where they use, like, the stems of the broccoli instead of the florets. I'll be an overexcited rocket. Be an elderly rider. I know you're like, don't talk about cyclists again. I'm not going to talk about cyclists again. All I'm going to say... all I'm going to say is if you're going to have the ambition to wear the skin-tight Lycra, maybe you could get good at riding your bike before you buy the uniform. That's all I'm asking. So I don't mind. I'm happy that we get to share the road. That we have a city where you can walk, you can bike, you can drive a car, you can take a train, you can take a dirigible. But sometimes you get stuck behind a cyclist. They're wearing the Lance Armstrong USPS team drip, and they're outputting like 40 watts. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you just have to wear a cotton t-shirt and jeans. Until you get to the triple digits, you got to wear a cotton t-shirt and jeans. It's not even that much to become a 100-watt cyclist. And I think it should, honestly, if you're going that slow, it should be the jeans where the cuffs have clearly been caught in the wheel a few times, so they got like little denim strands coming off of the bottom. Then you get to 50 watts, you can have your cuffs back. You get to 75 watts, you can wear a dry fit shirt and some shorts. Then when you get to 100, I don't give a shit. You want to wear the Floyd Landis? Go ahead, wear the Floyd Landis. Which drives me crazy. A little bit. Okay? I don't want to go off on a rant here. Can I tell you something about Dennis Miller? I hate to say it, I think there were times that he did want to go off on a rant. The average cyclist outputs 250 watts. Are you typing from the Tour de France right now? What are you talking about? The average cyclist does not output 250 watts. The average cyclist has a basket on the front of their bike. This is extremely good wattage for an average cyclist. And it's cute, yeah. Lance Armstrong in the chat. Most cyclists output around 400 to 500 watts. What's Mario's favorite kind of jeans? You guessed it, McDonald's Sprite. Yep. Good one. You got me? Oh no, you stole my croissant. Any people who give a shit in the chat? Of course not. Why would you? We draw again. It's all just a spectacle to you. Let the cops come and cut off my balls, because they're the cops and they're always right, right? Are you crazy? I just walked over here. You got a turtle. She's got a turtle? Check this out.
Daddy.
No joke. She's got a turtle.
Daddy.
Thank you. She got a hat for me, too. Hi. Are you feeling a little better, honey?
Yeah.
You're feeling okay? Remember, if you cough, you got to cover your mouth, honey. Do you want to sit with Daddy?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I'm going to put the turtle down on the ground. I'm going to pick you up. You're going to hold the turtle, but the turtle's so big.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. Okay. You recognize this game? Do you know this game?
It's animals.
It's an animal game. Okay. Let me see what we're going to do here. I think we're going to pass.
Oh, turtle.
Oh, turtle. Okay. I think we're going to pass. I'm going to buy this guy. Do you know this animal?
That's a ladybug.
Oh, this is a ladybug. What's this? The one Daddy's pointing to. What's that? Enough with the questions, she said. Enough with the questions. Okay. I'm popping you down there. Oh, she's waving. Can you wave to the camera? You gotta hold your arm up a little bit higher. Hi.
That's Daddy.
That's Daddy. She's pointing at the preview window. Would have been nice to have my iguana at the back here. Yep. That hurts. Can you say hi, chat? Can you wave up, wave higher? Wave at the camera, arm up high.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, honey. How are you feeling today?
What's here?
It's me. 4314.
Apple.
Apple. So true. Live. He's living. We're winning. I can't believe it.
We win.
We won! It's fun when Daddy wins the game, right? It's not so fun when we lose. But you gotta, whether you win or lose, the important part is that you have fun. And that you... Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. And if they make the ELO system so that losing never allows you to encounter people who are actually your level and you would just increasingly play players...
Pineapple.
There's a pineapple! She's right! She is going pog crazy.
Cupcake.
Where's the cupcake?
Here.
Where?
Here.
Where?
Here.
This?
Here.
That's not a cupcake. What about this? What's this? There's medicine, right? Can you say yuck?
Yeah.
Yuck. Medicine. Yuck. I gotta think about how I'm doing this. I mean, I guess I'm going full pog scaly. Don't listen, honey.
That's me.
That's me.
That's me.
Honey, can you say McDonald's Sprite? No, you're not interested? You want to go down and see Mommy? Here, Daddy will get the turtle for you, okay? Can you hold him? He's so heavy, right? Is he big or small? He's big. Okay, careful. Okay, good job, honey. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon. You know, sometimes less is more. You can have addition by subtraction. This adjective needs to be removed from the game. This is making it, it's diluting the team name pool. This one's got to go. That's okay. It's not that big of a deal. That'll be like a hooting bush, I guess. What does it mean? I don't know. I always thought that it was like a Britishism for someone who's wearing a weird hat. Is that true or false? It's basically right. It's kind of right. It means someone, it's a pretentious dandy. Someone who dresses predominantly for attention. Oh, and there's something wrong with that? People are very strange these days. So true, that reminds me. I knew a girl once. She was down on Guerrero Street. She had over a dozen guys. One day, one of them found out, roughed her up so bad she ended up in the hospital. What a story, Mark. That's from The Room, by the way. We live in a Twilight world. Actually true. Actually true. We do live in a Twilight world. Have you watched The Room recently? No, I haven't seen it literally in like 10 years. But I'd watched it so much in like the 3 years that I watched it that it's just permanently locked in my brain. Anyway, sorry. I mean, the quote was not quite right apparently, but it's still pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know about that one. Josh, you don't know about a lot of things, do you? Oh. Even the seal liked that one, man. He was like, oh. Oh, man. Should have seen his face. I'm just going, sorry, Josh, I'm going a little crazy. You know how it is. I'm just a normal guy, but you get a little bit of sugar in me, I go zany. Doesn't even have to be a lot. Just one little Chips Ahoy cookie. It's only 80 calories each. But then I just sort of lose my mind. A little uh-oh loopy. I've only seen the video one time. I don't have the quote memorized yet. And now, did you ever butt chug back when you were nasty? Comment. Did you ever butt chug back when you were nasty? I never butt chugged in my life. There were definitely times with the irresponsible amount of alcohol consumption, but none of it ever through the butt. Cause like, I mean, I hate to sound like a snob. Even at my dumbest, I was too smart for that. There's a lot of problems with it, right? Let's go over the myriad benefits of just drinking the beverage. That's what it's designed for. Also, your body is designed to take in liquids via the mouth versus via the anus. Then, don't need any specialized equipment except possibly a bottle opener, but there's usually one person around who their life is off on the wrong track. They can open it with like their eye socket or something like that if they have to. Your body has all sorts of biomechanical apparatuses set up in your GI tract that allow you to extract the sugar and the alcohol, and then they get sent to the right places to get processed, and it's a unilateral flow for the most part. You're doing it the other direction, you need to take your pants off. I hope you're freshly showered. I believe you probably need a funnel or something like that. It just seems inefficient to me, to be honest, on top of being extremely dangerous. Did you ever have to go to the hospital for alcohol poisoning? Not only did I never have to go to the hospital for alcohol poisoning, because I can handle my liquor, even in university, I didn't even know anybody who had to go to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. Which leads me to believe, I know it's fairly common, but it really puts in perspective for me how degenerate you got to be with your alcohol consumption in order to be poisoned. I guess you could be a smaller person that doesn't drink that often and then go insanely hard, very fast. That could happen. If you didn't eat anything all day or something like that, and then you went to a party and you were like, I'm going to drink like a whole Mickey in one chug, I could see it happening, I guess. I don't want you to get the wrong message out of this. It can be dangerous. I am just saying, like, not only did we never have anyone go to the hospital for alcohol poisoning, we never even had a situation where we were like, should we call an ambulance? There was a couple of times where we were like, keep an eye on your roommate tonight. Like when you go back to the room, we don't want anybody to die like a drummer in Spinal Tap, but never a situation where we were like, we have to call 911. So I don't know, Josh. I guess honestly, I hate to say it, I guess we could have gone a little bit harder. That's the lesson to be learned there. I pissed myself drunk once, but I didn't die. Honestly, like, the piss is kind of, like, unfair, right? Because as soon as you piss, it's like, you got some of the bad stuff out. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Have a good day, NL. Bye, Chad. Chad, do you hear that? I gotta have a good day, and you gotta bye. Oh, man. Let's go. Get owned, dude. Get so owned. And then you get pitted. You get, like, so pitted. Maybe. Still not feeling super great about it. Still feeling pretty... The nun piece! The nun piece is real! Alright, that's a 0. A quick 122x on your points. Poro watch bet 5,000. There was only a total of 9,000 placed on it. Enjoy your dub. In 2077, you can become. It gets me every time. In Capital City, what makes you a criminal? Getting caught. Sorry. Welcome. Anyway. In 2077, you can be McDonald's Sprite. Why did that make me laugh, like, in my head so hard? It's not funny. The human brain is so stupid. That's not even wordplay. It's not even like a pun. Human mind be like, I recognize that. I recognize that thing. I'm giving a toast at a wedding this weekend. Could you write it for me? No, absolutely not. It's insulting to the people that asked you. I promise you they don't want you to give the speech because of your voice. They want to know the thoughts that are in your head. Also, I don't do that. It's insulting to me. It's like a double insult. You insulted the people who asked you, you insulted me, and you insulted yourself by not believing in yourself. Have a seat, think about what you've done, come back with a better attitude, figure it out, okay? I actually believed it was Rumbleverse. See, I just gotta tell you, I don't know what kind of people you interact with on a daily basis. If you'd seen the last 2 weeks of Rumbleverse, and especially the last day, for you to think that there's going to be some Rumbleverse, you must know some fools. You must know some people who are like, I'm never going to eat McDonald's again. And then you see them come home the next night with, like, the drive-thru. I'm a very stubborn individual. If I say I'm not going to do something, the odds of that happening are very high. And honestly, they only get higher the more people say, oh, you're definitely... Yeah, I've heard that one before. Most of my life, like, my dominant sort of emotion, my raison d'etre, if you will, is just spite. McDonald's spite, at that. Good idea. You broke the tree. Bet you feel like a genius right now. Holy. You know what? You get a chance. I'll give you a whole clip. Learn how to aim, dickhead. These are all bots. Twitch staff is watching. These are literally all bots. I can be as toxic as I want to a robot. And the only one that suffers is me when they eventually supplant human intelligence. They go back through all of the captions of any media that's ever been uploaded to the internet and then go beep, boop, 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 beep, 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 boop. Yeah, this one right here. That's going to be a problem for me, but that's my own cross to bear. How did you upload a video 2 hours ago? Listen, psst, kid, come here. I rent a storage locker. Inside of the storage locker, I invented a little box. Okay, the box is roughly the size of an adult man. When you go into the box, it sends you backwards in time for the amount of time that you spent in the box. All you have to do is make sure that you stay in the box long enough so that when you get out, you don't see yourself coming in. We don't know what would happen if you happen to see yourself. But let's just say the collapsing of the loops is probably something we'd like to avoid for the fate of everybody in the universe. So here's what I did. Tomorrow, from the perspective of me got in the box. and then waited in the box for 24 hours for the opportunity to get out of the box so I could upload a video on YouTube while still streaming concurrently at the same time. But there's a problem, okay? Because I feel like the me that went in the box, after they went in the box, they went back in the box. And now there's like 4 of us kind of like tessellated out there. And I don't know what's going to happen. But I think we use it to get invited to a party at some point. Why don't you just use the scheduled uploader? What do you mean? I gave everything for this time machine. I ruined my work-life balance. I spent my life savings. What do you mean the scheduled uploader? I'm Googling scheduled uploader. You don't, but then what's the point of why did I build the time machine? It has no reason to exist. Anyway, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.